Okay, so the next disease which we are going to study is Medo Rog. So, what is Medo Rog? The disease in which the formation of Med Dhatu happens more as compared to the other dhatus, hence, it is called as Medo Rog. So, we know Rasa, Rakta, Mamsa, Meda, Asthi, Majja, Shukra, seven dhatus which hold the body or make the framework of the body, right? Dharana Dhatava. Now, in this disease, what happens is there is excess formation of Meda Dhatu compared to the other ones. Hence, the accumulation of Meda Dhatu in the body happens. Hence, this is called as Medo Rog. Okay, Rog is disease. Meda is Meda Dhatu, Rog is disease. It is a slow progressing and chronic disease and takes a long time to heal as well. So, this is a long process of disease. So, the disease formation is a very long process, as well as the time it takes to cure also is similar. In fact, is rather is more than the disease formation process. It has long term physical as well as psychological pain or issues. Okay. Uh, it is a very common disease which is seen nowadays, very common. And of course, you might have studied it and observed, read, listened, seen about this particular issue in the society which is prevailing. The prevalence is pretty high. And along with physical, psychological concerns are also there. Okay, so the self esteem of the patient also is hampered to a larger extent. So we see also in our regular practice that patient has more concerns about what people feel about them rather than the disease itself. Understood what I'm saying? I have Medo Rog. My major concern is how people are looking at me, that is major, rather than curing or correcting my body. So when we have to treat the patients with Medorog, we have to correct both these things. One is their disease also, and upliftment of their self-esteem also is equally important. It has become important, right? Because of this world of technology, social media, and external presentation, external look, uh, everything actually has become more superficial than what it ideally should be. Hence, people are more concerned about how they look. So the reason for me to take treatment is not really to stay healthy, is but to look good. So that is more concerning. So what the entire basis of saying this is the treatment becomes essential not only for the disease but also for the self-esteem of the patient. Fair. So let us move ahead. What are the causes or etiological factors? Consuming guru, heavy to digest food items, madhura, sweet, snigdha, unctuous food in excess. All these are kapha increasing or aggravating items or entities. Lack of or no exercise. So a simple rule ideally should be consume, sorry, eat and consume, gain and lose. If there is a balance, consumption versus, ingestion versus consumption, if there is a balance, then there is equilibrium. There is no gaining of, there is nothing balance. I mean, in terms of, there is nothing which leaves, is left behind. So you eat 100 units, you consume 100 units, then an equilibrium is maintained. Uh, Hence, exercise becomes quite important. People consume, if do not exercise, it will accumulate. It will keep on accumulating. And there will be one fine day when they will suddenly realize, okay, I already said in the first slide that it is a slow, chronic uh, process of Medorog, of accumulation of Meda Dhatu. But as we discussed in the other diseases also, people do not take it seriously till the time they have some issue. So what are the issues they see? Suddenly their weight, they see, oh, it has crossed 70, it ideally should be 60. They suddenly realize what were they doing at 61, 62, 63? They were not concerned at all. But suddenly, because it touched 70, they are now, there is an alarm that, okay, I need to do something. And their clothes, they start becoming very tight till the time they feel breathless, discomfort. Till then, they were not doing anything. So I'm not trying to blame, but the consciousness, the alertness has to be there. Okay, everybody should have that consciousness. And uh, similar to what happens in the other diseases, initial concerns, they are ignored, relating them to some change in the lifestyle. So lack of exercise, no exercise. And what are the reasons? You will listen, I do not have time, I am very busy, I'm occupied with this, I'm occupied with that, I have other priorities, I have so much of responsibilities, load, etc., etc., etc. But what has to be the priority is, if the body is good, the body can work. If the body is not maintained properly, it is not going to work. It will not be in a condition to take responsibility. It is not going to be in a condition to be occupied with work. It will not be in a condition to do any kind of physical activity if it is not maintained properly. So the priority has to be body, which unfortunately very few people realize. Daytime sleep immediately post meal. Sleeping daytime immediately post meal will hamper digestion and will accumulate kapha, and in turn meda dhatu. Happy go lucky attitude. Till the time they see an alarm on the weighing scale, it is happy go lucky. Nothing will happen, nothing will happen. And then suddenly there is a um eye opener, I should say. Hereditary factor to some extent. So, hereditary factor. So, in these cases, we uh, can see accumulation of fat right from the early stage, from the uh, kid stage, nascent stage itself, wherein the baby looks healthy, and then because the family itself is in the mindset of looking at each other as healthy people, healthy as in good built, or with heavy bodies, they are not concerned or don't get bothered about the baby's overall fat accumulation. So the kind of lifestyle they are going through, they will put the baby also in that, and the baby will grow with the similar mindset and will develop Medorog at a very early age. And you will see that uh, then this self-esteem and uh, taunting and passing comments, etc., etc., will start from the early age, and their their mind becomes so inert to listening to anything. And one fine day will come that they will break down. So uh, the parents who are healthy or healthy, I mean, they are heavyweights, they should be more aware about themselves as well as their kids. So if you have patients whose family history you see that they are uh, of BMI, body mass index, higher than expected or higher than normal, you should be consulting them and telling them that uh, taking care of their next uh, family members uh, is important, and guiding them properly should be told to them. Happy go lucky attitude, hereditary factor. Yes, we spoke about it. So, Samprapti. Let us move to Samprapti. How does it happen? Hetu 7. We saw what are the Hetus. Okay, Madhura, Kapha aggravating basically. Snigdha. So, Hetu 7 happens and Medha Dhatu starts, formation of Medha Dhatu uh, happens more, accumulation of Medha Dhatu happens more, and it creates block in the channels, in the srotas. Because of that block, sorry, formation of other dhatus get hampered. Formation of other dhatu hampers. The natural movement of vata also gets obstructed because of srotorod, channels getting blocked. Vata deviates from its direction and moves in the stomach, igniting the digestive fire, Jatharagni, and not Dhatu Agni. I'll just explain this sentence. Vata deviates from its natural direction. Okay, so Anuloma Gati is blocked because of Srotorod. Hence, the entire focus comes on Samanavayu. Okay, comes on Samanavayu. And it will, Samanavayu, what it does is it will give uh, fodder to the Jatharagni. Okay, Jatharagni. And this Jatharagni, what does it do? It has the responsibility of digesting whatever comes to the digestive system. Now, as the Jathar Agni is Tivra, intense Jathar Agni, digestive fire is intense, the feeling of hunger is more. How does the patient know my Jathar Agni is intense? Feeling more hungry, strong. The intensity of hunger is strong. What does the person do? Eats, feeling this is my real hunger, eats. And what will happen, because the vata is uh, revolving inside the Jatharagni, because of its intensity, will keep digesting the food fast. And when it gets digested fast, the feeling of hunger will also come back quickly. Okay, so that becomes a vicious cycle. Now I'll just explain. Stomach, the vata, it moves inside the to the stomach, igniting digestive fire. It will ignite the Jathar Agni and not the Dhatu Agni. Every Dhatu is, it has its own Agni. Okay, there is Jathar Agni and small parts of Jathar Agni go to Dhatu Agni. Okay, every Dhatu has its converting Agni. Okay, so Ahara Rasa has Jatharagni. Jatharagni will convert food into nutrient fluid and their sub Agnis. Okay, Rasa Dhatu Agni. Rasa Dhatu Agni will convert that nutrient fluid into Rasa Dhatu. Then there will be Rakta Dhatu Agni, which will convert uh, Rasa Dhatu, part of Rasa Dhatu, into Rakta Dhatu. Then there will be Mamsa Dhatu Agni, which will convert part of Rakta Dhatu into Mamsa Dhatu. Similarly happens with the following dhatus. So here the Jathar Agni, the main Agni is ignited, not the Dhatu Agni. Okay, because the focus of Vata is towards the Samana Vayu. Okay. Digestion of consumed food happens faster than usual. I just spoke about it, that the Jatharagni, because it is ignited and the intensity is high, the digestion of the consumed food, whatever quantity it is, it happens very fast. Feeling of hunger will happen more frequently because it is digested, it moves ahead. The person feels that I am hungry, my body needs more energy. The food intake also increases. Assuming that this is my real hunger, food intake increases. Meda further increases, blocking the channels more. This results into uh, formation of more Meda dhatu, and that will block the srotas more. Okay. Now, in this, one more thing is consider the hetu. Why Meda dhatu is increasing? Because the patient here we saw the patient is consuming Guru Madhura Snigdha food. Okay, and he or she continues to do it. Okay, so assume that sentence properly and relate that Meda Dhatu further increases. How does Meda Dhatu increase? Because of the type of ahara, food which is consumed. Okay, Meda Dhatu further increases, blocking the channels more. The vicious cycle continues and Meda accumulation keeps on increasing. No exercise, Meda doesn't decrease at all. And the patient will end up in Medo Rog. So, consuming heavy foods, Meda Dhatu increases, blocks the channel. Vata, the moment of Vata gets blocked, it ignites the digestive fire. The intensity of fire increases. Patient feels hungry, consumes more food, anxious, sweet, heavy. That gets digested fast. Patient consumes more. Again, digestion happens fast. So when digested, that meda, that food gets converted into meda, and accumulation of meda furthermore increases. And because the patient also does not exercise or does not consume, I was showing the balance, equilibrium. There is only accumulation, no consumption. Hence, the meda dhatu only increases, does not decrease. In this case, if the patient had some sort of exercise also, then the consumption of that meda would have not happened to an extent uh, to attain the medo rog stage. But because the patient is eating, not exercising, hence this formation, disease formation happens, and the patient ends up in medo rog. That's the samprapti. Pururu, premonitory signs and symptoms. So, may the dhatu starts accumulating, then the usual limits starts with abdomen. So, the usual sites we know where the meda gets accumulated usually starts with abdomen. Meda dhatu starts accumulating in the usual more than the usual limits. So more than the usual limits mean whatever bottom trouser or whatever they are wearing, it starts becoming tighter. Okay, so the clothes tighten up, which indicate that the Meda dhatu is increasing than the normal or usual limits. Laziness increases, Meda dhatu, kapha. Sweating tendency increases. Sweat or sweda is the mala of Meda. It is the mala, waste of Meda dhatu. So as Meda dhatu increases, sweda also increases. Okay, it is quite easy to understand. Sweda is the mala of Meda. Feeling tired with small amount of work. Lethargy also will be there. Shrama, this is also called as Shrama, feeling tired with small amount of work. So, all in all, the patient is moving towards Rupa stage. indicators are there. If corrective steps are taken, the disease process may reverse. But because the patient is feeling tired with small amount of work and does not take efforts, forgetting that I am getting tired with small amount of work, if the patient takes effort, exercises, he will or she will gain confidence and strength that okay, we can move to the next level, exercise more, consume this fat, and uh, we can come back to normal. We see a lot of social media uh, videos and all where patient loses a lot of weight. So we just see the gist of it, and we just see the the goods of what uh, has happened in that process. We are not shown the bads anyway. So the the willpower is critical. If that is strong in the Purvarup stage itself, then the process of disease formation can be reversed. Now the process has come to Rupa stage. So what are the signs and symptoms? Feeling of hunger increases. We saw in the Samprapti. As the digestive fire Jatharagni increases, the feeling of hunger will keep on increasing. Feeling of thirst increases. Why? Because of sweating. Sweda. So as the sweda goes out, dehydration will happen. Rehydration will be required. Correct? So it is a cycle there also. Weakness is seen now because of heaviness in the body, uh, and um, the formation of the next dhatus reduces because of the obstruction and all. We saw that whatever gets consumed gets uh, transformed into meda dhatu. So mamsa, meda, asti, manja, shukra. So the body looks, overall body looks big, but the strength inside, dhatu strength, keeps on reducing. So you will see muscle pain, you will see joint pain, you will see brahma or dizziness, or you will see lack of. So anyway, a few things are there which will be covered. But if you relate it to the formation of the next dhatus, following dhatu reduces their individual functions. If you relate to, you will see that the depletion of those dhatus will create problems in their functioning, and those will be seen as symptoms in the rupa stage. Enthusiasm, energy level decreases. Strength and stamina in intercourse decreases. Right? So ojas, shukradhatu, they will reduce. Muscle strength will reduce. Tendency to sweat increases. As Meda accumulates, Sweda obviously will be more. As I said, it is the Malu of Meda Dhatu. Bad body odor, as the sweat is more, bad body odor will be there. And also understand that the Meda which gets formed, it is not Prakrut Meda. It is not Prakrut Meda, it is Vikrut Meda. Okay, so because of its limits, okay, it is going beyond limits, so that is a vikrut meda, so it will have bad body odor. Lifespan or life expectancy decreases. Obviously, when we say dharana dhatavah, your body is held by the dhatus, rasarakta up to shukra, and only first three dhatus are okay, and the rest of them are not forming to the sufficient levels. Then the physiological processes, next physiological processes are anyway going to get hampered naturally. And as the physiology is not in its natural form, natural way, the lifespan certainly will decrease because the functioning of the other organs is not going to happen normally, right? So Medorog life expectancy decreases. And uh, we see that people with uh, high fat content or meda dhatu, they are pretty vulnerable to get a lot of diseases. Various issues are there, be it blood pressure or cholesterol or diabetes or pain, joint pain, etc. So lifespan or life expectancy decreases. Prognosis, it is difficult to treat this disease. We saw in the first slide, it is a slow process of accumulation. Similarly, the curing process also is slow and requires a lot of patience and cooperation from the patient. If the patient is not cooperative, does not have patience, does not take efforts, this disease is not treatable. This is difficult to treat disease if the patient cooperates and is willing to take medicines for a long time, follow the diet rules, exercise, then there is a possibility of fair results, acceptable results. It can easily relapse, hence, long term treatment is the key. We see, we have patients who are wanting to uh, lose weight. They start exercise and do heavy exercise, crash diet, supplements, everything they do. In 3 months, they lose loads, pounds of fat. After 2 months, they stop exercise, they come back and they say, okay, whatever we had lost, we have gained faster than what we lost. Because they try to put the body into a unnatural process of digestion of the Meda Dhatu. The body did not forget that it has a tendency to accumulate fat. The body hasn't forgotten. So it will come back when it sees favorable conditions, it will come back, it will relapse. So this disease will take quite a bit of time, patience, cooperation, everything. Patience is the key of both the doctor and the patient, and cooperation from the patient in following the diet rules, exercising daily, willpower has to be strong. Has to be strong. If the self-esteem is lowered, then it becomes difficult to uplift them or to boost them. They will just rely on the medicine and they will stay home. No, we do not want to go out. Few patients you will find like that. Until we lose weight, we will not be going out. Whatever you tell, we'll do in the house, and it has limitations. Not sufficient equipments are there. Uh, the patient is not able to do strenuous exercise. So, and social interaction also does not happen because they are staying in the house. So, the feeling of freshness, new energies, they do not happen. Energy exchange does not happen at all. So whatever limited they can do in the house, they are trying to do that and relying on the medicines to do a miracle. That is difficult. So cooperation from the patient is uh, is equally important as the medicines are. Upadrava, complications, sagging of abdomen. Of course, when the accumulation of Meda Dhatu goes beyond a certain limit, the strength of the muscle and the skin to hold that also will be lost, and the tone of the skin, tone of the muscle uh, will be lost. Now here what happens is, skin has a limit to what uh, adipose tissue or fat tissue it can hold. Beyond a certain limit, then it will start sagging. Okay, so sagging of abdomen, sagging of chest region or the breasts, lack of energy and enthusiasm will be one of the complications. Diabetes. We spoke about it. Diabetic carbuncles. So carbuncles are basically skin issues which happen to diabetic patients. So diabetic carbuncles are they get severe and worse if they are not treated properly. One, and if the sugar levels are not maintained properly, they can complicate further. Fever, fistula, tendency of abscess formation, joint disorders and other vata disorders, heart diseases, high blood pressure. Fever can happen. Fistula is actually um, an an opening other than the natural external orifices. So usually, if it is an anal fistula, there becomes a additional opening from where the feces or the stool uh, would come out. So that is fistula. Tendency of abscess formation will increase. Joint disorders and other vata disorders. Deranged vata will not sit in one place. It will keep moving and it will keep finding sthana vaigunya. Disease formation we know. Sthana vaigunya. Wherever there is sthana vaigunya, weak spot in the body, weak spot, favorable for the dhatu, for the aggravated dosha. It will find a weak spot in the body, go and stay there. So that is called as sthana vaigunya. So wherever there is sthana vaigunya and the dosha will find a favorable spot, it will go and stay there and create disease there. Okay, so vata can create joint disorders, heart diseases, a lot of pressure on the heart to pump the blood to the enlarged body and to take it from the dense fat up to the skin will be a challenge for the heart also. Hence, the blood pressure also will increase. So, what is the chikitsa? What is the treatment? Controlled intake of food. Crash dieting should not be advised at all. Crash dieting should not be advised. Control food. Give suitable food. Ask the patient to consume suitable food. We see people doing crash dieting. What is crash dieting? Zero intake of food. No, we will not eat until uh, for 12 hours or 15 hours or 18 hours or whatever they have decided. I feel hungry, I'll eat juice, I will drink juice, I will eat this, etc. So, favorable, suitable foods should be told to the patient. So, Lagu Ahar will be good and advisable, controlled intake of food. Diet and medicine should be used for decreasing Meda Dhatu and Kapha dosha. So, medicines which will help in digesting the excess Meda Dhatu and aggravated Kapha dosha should be given. Care should be taken that it shouldn't increase Vata. Now, this is a balance which the clinician has to maintain. That when you are trying to, we spoke about it in one of the last diseases, that when there is a treatment protocol which is defined in which we are trying to pacify one of the dhatu, one of the doshas, we have to take care that the other dosha with opposite properties should not increase. In this case, we are trying to reduce kapha. Vata should not increase, is what care we have to take. Hmm? Lagu ahar, barley, moong dal, horse gram, good for digestion, easy for digestion. Finger millets, pearl millets are good foods. Okay, so in various forms they can be consumed without making them heavy to digest. Okay, not adding anything heavy or unctuous into it. Honey is good for the meda, digesting the meda. It has grahi properties also. So Honey actually should be consumed on a regular basis. It will certainly help. I'm sure you all know that honey should not be heated. It should not be heated. It will change the properties of honey. It should not be heated on direct gas flame, or should not be mixed with hot food. Foods and Siddha water should with Katu Tikta Rasam. Siddha Jala, we already saw. So with spices and herbs, water is made. Boil the water with spices and herbs with Katu and Tikta Rasam. Pungent foods will help in Ushnavirya will help in alleviating Kapha dosha. Warm water itself is a great medicine. Ushna Udaka. We spoke about it in one of the diseases. Ushna Udaka. It has a lot of properties which, in itself, without any medicine mixed in it, if you can mix Siddha Jala, hot water, it will be uh, more beneficial. But warm water itself, anulomana, it will do. Improve the peristaltic movement. It will help in elevating kapha. It will help in digesting medha dhatu. It will reduce the srotorodha. Imagine the block channels. It will help in removing the blocks in the channels also, to certain extent, of course, not completely, but it will help. So one item which can do wonders. Okay. Late night sleep, exercise, and indulging in sex to be increased step by step. Now, this is something opposite of what we have been seeing in Pathya Pathya in the other diseases. So, late night sleep will will help in reducing kapha. It will help in reducing kapha, but simultaneously we have to take care that it does not aggravate vata dosha. Exercise, regular exercise, step by step. If the patient is told some heavy exercise on day one, day two, three, four, five, he will sleep only because of body pain. So, exercise should be increased step by step. Start with 5 minutes walk, two repetitions of some exercise. Then take it to three repetitions, five repetitions. Slowly. If you tell 30 repetitions on day one, second day, third day, forget, he will for a week, he will only sleep. He will say, no, this is very difficult, I cannot do it. Because also patients are looking for shortcuts, faster results. Give me some magic medicine, next day I want to look slim, which of course does not happen, but they are looking for easier options. It is very difficult for a clinician to convince the patient to do something which is beneficial for the patient. So you are telling something for the benefit of the patient, and the patient is in a inert mode where it does not want to take any efforts. Okay, so or uh, taking like small efforts or less efforts, trying to achieve more with lesser efforts. Anyway, so exercise has to be step by step increased. Indulging in sex will be good and should be increased step by step. Okay, loss of libido is one important complication which happens in Medorog, loss of libido. So, uh, getting the patient into that regular habit of having physical intercourse will not only be beneficial for him as an exercise, but also keep the uh, self-esteem intact. Okay, so that confidence will be intact with that physical activity. Because suddenly, if one day the patient realizes that he or she is not uh, feeling of physical interaction, then regaining that will be very difficult at a later stage. Patient should be made to take up some work of responsibility and accountability. So patient should be kept occupied with some work of why accountability, because lethargy should go, responsibility has to come in. Unless there is responsibility and accountability, lethargy will not go. They will be of that happy-go-lucky attitude, as I said. So that has to reduce. Unless there is something to worry about, to think about, their kapha will not come down. Okay. Niruha Basti and Anulomana work will work well in Medoroga. So Niruha Basti is Basti with Vatha, okay, with decoction, Basti with decoction, and Anulomana. So improving the peristaltic movement also will help, so that the Vata, deranged Vata, will keep moving downward. Chandra Prabhavati is a potent medicine in Medorog. So Chandra Prabhavati is a herbo mineral preparation which is very good and works very well in Medorog. Triphala Gugul, Triphala Haritaki, Amalaki, Bibitaki. Okay, so three uh, uh, fruits, herbal fruits, which are mixed together to make Triphala. And Gugulu is Commiphora mucul, it's a resin which is used as a binding agent and works well in digestion of Meda Dhatu. Okay, Triphala Gugul. Loha Bhasma, iron, Bhasma of iron, purified iron, helps in reducing weakness in the dhatus. Okay, it will help in reducing weakness in the dhatus. It will also ignite mm, the dhatu agni, the dhatu agni. So how does it work? It will improve the dhatu agni and it will improve its formation. So hence, reducing weakness in the dhatus will be achieved. Arogyavardhini is a good dhatu balya medicine. Arogyavardhini we saw in one of the previous diseases. It is a preparation which will give bala, strength to the dhatus. Okay. Again, similar to Loha Bhasma, it will have more potency. Udvartana helps in reducing sweat, foul smell, as well as digesting meda. Udvartana is a combination of herbs, powdered herbs, which help in which, when rubbed on the skin, will produce friction, and because of that friction, certain amount of heat is generated, and certain amount of uh, actives from the uh, herb get absorbed, and it will help in uh, the digestion of meda dhatu. Okay, and because of that dry powder, the sweat tendency also will reduce, and because the herbs also have certain aromatic values or aroma in it, it will reduce the foul smell also. So three things will happen: foul smell will be reduced, sway the tendency or sweating tendency will be reduced, and the meda dhatu also will get digested. It will help to digest meda dhatu. So what is the pathya and apathya in Medorog? First is Laghu Ahar. No crash dieting as we discussed. Laghu Ahar, easy to digest Ahar. So even if that Ahar is more than the required quantity, even if it is consumed in more quantity, but because it is easy to digest and suitable for Medoroga, even if it gets digested fast, is not going to increase Meda Dhatu. Getting my point? So the fillingness, the feeling of fullness, that okay, I have consumed sufficient amount of food for to the patient will be there simultaneously. When it gets digested, it will not get converted directly to meda dhatu. It will get converted into nutrient fluid and Simultaneously, as your medicines are also on, the nutrient fluid will get converted into uh, prakruta dhatu, okay, natural dhatu, rasa rakta mamsa meda. Katu tikta rasa. So food items and medicines with katu tikta rasa should be good in medorog. Deepana pachana herbs will be important. Old rice, we have discussed about it. Old rice, easy to digest and does not increase the fluid levels in the body. And is pathyakara, honey. Spoke about it. Honey is good in Bedorog. Exercise required step by step, increasing the exercise step by step. One more thing in step by step is because their dhatus are not formed to a satisfactory level, the overall strength of the body is reduced. So even if the patient is willing to do something, may not have the genuine strength to follow your instructions for exercise. So slow. If you increase, then their strength also, they will also gain strength to do further exercises with more intensity and vigor. Okay. Udvartana will certainly help. Doing Udvartana on a daily basis will help the patient to do the three things which we saw in the last slide. Apart from that, improving or regaining the skin tone will be can be achieved with Udvartana. Okay, because of the friction and the heat, the muscle tone, sorry, the skin tone also will be increased. Dead tissue moves out because of this scrubbing effect. So 4 or 5 things get taken care by Udvartana itself. Okay, so instead of during shower, for example, you give that powder and you say you wet your body and keep scrubbing this. Do not apply anything else. No shampoo, no shower gel, no soap, etc. You just do Udvartana with this powder and wash it off. It will be a good experience for the patient as well as they will keep using it because it is easy application. It's not complicated. And because it will smoothen their skin, it will reduce their sweating tendency, it will give a good smell to their aroma to their body, nice odor. So they will love it and they will regularly use it. Okay, so putting them into this habit of using Udvartana will certainly help. Avoid all the hetus. We have spoken, I mean, we keep saying this during the last slide every time. Apathya. Nidana Parivarjan should be the first step. Avoid all the hetus to the fullest of extents. They may not be able to avoid all, but at least the major few are, if they are avoided, the rest can be managed with the medicine which you are giving. Okay, so Medorog, it is a small disease on paper, but it has a very large impact on the life of the patient. Okay, so Medorog is considered one of the Ashtaunindit Vyadhis in the classical textbooks. So, what is Ashtaunindit Vyadhis? We will see. There are 8 types of Vyadhis which are difficult to treat. Okay, so Medorog is one of them. So, with this, we cover Medorog. If we have complete Medorog, if we have any questions, we can discuss. Else, we can pause for the day. Namaste.